The Renegade is Jeep's interpretation of what a compact crossover or small SUV really should be, and it's very different to anything else we've seen. Quirky looks and characterful detailing hide conventional Fiat underpinnings, but four-wheel drive is an option further up the range, where there's off-road prowess surpassing anything else in the segment. It won't appeal to everyone, but if you like it, you'll probably love it. The mainstream two-wheel drive Renegade variants are based around 1.6 litre engines, either a 110 brake horsepower e-torque petrol unit or a preferable 120 brake horsepower multi-jet diesel that has more than twice as much pulling power and manages nearly 65 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle and 115 grams per kilometre of CO2. If you must fuel from the green pump, the 140 brake horsepower multi-air engine is a better choice than the e-torque unit if you can afford to stretch to it. And that's a power plant you can also have in 170 brake horsepower guise, packaged up with four-wheel drive and a sophisticated 9-speed automatic gearbox. Diesel buyers wanting four-wheel drive must mainly opt for the 2-litre multi-jet 140 brake horsepower engine I'm trying here, which is offered with both the all-wheel drive setups Jeep offers on this car, Active Drive and Active Drive Low with its low-range gearbox. Both are paired with the brand's Select Terrain system that tailors the drive characteristics of the car to suit the surface you're on. The top trail-rated Trailhawk version, of course, features the most capable setup and matches it to a higher ride height, auto transmission and a 170 brake horsepower version of the 2-litre multi-jet diesel engine. On the road, this Jeep inevitably isn't quite as responsive as more tarmac-orientated rival small Duke genre crossover models would be, but the firm ride and measured handling responses arguably constitute part of its charm. You could say it's representative of the authenticity that really should be part of the whole Renegade experience. Now, whatever you think of the stylised compact crossover segment, it certainly brought us some interesting pieces of design. The rugged spherical shape with its short overhangs and beefy bumpers is classic Jeep, as is the signature 7-slot grille flanked by circular headlights that are tucked slightly under the leading edge of the aluminium bonnet for a more contemporary look. In profile, the theme continues with classic trapezoidal wheel arches, rugged lower side sill cladding and a raised beltline that's supposed to reference the tough Jeep Wrangler model's half doors. Here at the back, the square Wrangler-style tail lamps feature the distinctive Renegade X icon you'll also find elsewhere on the car. It's an important graphic for the brand, inspired by the design of the vintage jerry cans that played as much a part in winning World War II as the original 1941 Willys Jeep did itself. And up front, well, the quirkiness continues in the details. The Jeep face, round headlights and that 7-slot front grille is embossed into the speaker covers, the seat backs and the fairing behind the rearview mirror. Then there are these outer vents, shaped apparently to reflect the design of base jumping equipment. The trim surrounding these, the gear stick and the cup holders can, as you can see, be brightly colour coordinated as an option. Ahead of you, the chunkily distinctive 3-spoke multifunction steering wheels, very Jeep-specific too. And through it, you glimpse a rev counter that for some reason feels the need to feature a mud splat instead of a red line. More noticeable, though, at least on the plush variant I'm trying here, is what lies between the two main dials. Affordable Renegade models get the usual information screen here, but this top limited version features something much classier. A bigger, customisable 7-inch TFT colour display that, amongst other things, can show navigation, speed, real-time economy, audio information and safety warnings. Pride of place in the centre of the fascia is reserved for this Uconnect TFT colour touchscreen. As on other Fiat Chrysler models, the setup's admirably clear and intuitive to use, with voice activation and control systems that are easy to figure out. So you won't have to be delving into the manual every time you want to Bluetooth pair your phone or find a point of interest on this sat-nav. Take a seat in the back, and the first thing you notice is the vast headroom enabled by the boxy shape. As well as the usual dual-pane electric sliding top, the Renegade offers something even better, a so-called My Sky roof arrangement consisting of two separate panels that can be removed and stored in the boot, creating a real open-air driving experience. Now back, well, we'd expected the spherical styling and longer than average vehicle length to deliver class-leading standards of space, but in fact the chunky tailgate rises to reveal one of the smaller boots in the compact crossover segment, this one 351 litres in size. This Renegade brings a long overdue dose of credibility to the crossover segment. Here you get plenty of style in a bluff, tough Jeep kind of way, but there's decent substance behind that too, with near family-sized practicality and the potential for far more off-road prowess than any other car in this segment can provide. Ultimately, what's important here is that Jeep has a new direction and a more relevant product to offer buyers who never previously would have considered one of its cars. These people will like the fact that in a sea of compact crossovers, this one's very different from the norm. A renegade, if you like. Perhaps just as every Jeep should be.